way in which people think, disrupt traditional ways of thinking, disrupt established models of power. And if you look at the disrupt anyone from an established and corrupt business to an established and corrupt political party. And if you look at the sum total of what we've done, Rishi, while doing it, we have never thought that, is this going to strike a conversation? But in the course of doing it, we find, not only do we strike a conversation, but we create a conversation that is fairly strong and have a lot of people following us on fact. So you asked me, what did we do in the last couple of weeks? So not this Sunday, but 2 Sundays back. At 9:06, I came on air in the morning, which was fairly disruptive because most news channels are sleeping through the weekend. That's been my constant complaint with news channels. So we broke the story when people least expected us to, which was at 9:06. And Rahul, it's so fascinating, this business, Viral is there, from my team heading social media. It's so fascinating. At 9:21, we got the government of India to respond. And let me complete the point. Rahul, I don't like interruptions. Please tell your boss that. No, I always speak through my ex-colleague. Rahul told me that it was his last job in television. I know many people who worked with me for whom it was their last job in television. As I say, I'm the only one who survives this. So we saw that we got the government of India to respond at 9:21. It's a euphoric feeling that when you break a story so clear, when we broke the story of how Sushma Swaraj was doing all those dealings with Lalit Modi, we knew we were taking on someone fairly influential. Now, you can take it as a reflection of the impact of television. I'll talk about digital after that. We sent Sushma Swaraj 2 emails before that. The first email on the 7th or so saying, Ms. Swaraj, you've done all of these 6 things. Then we sent her a second email on the 11th saying, Ms. Swaraj, we are reminding you that you've done all of these things and please respond to us by next morning. And she had a secretary called Satish, who kept saying, Madam ko dikhaya, respond karenge. She never did. But within 15 minutes of putting the story on the channel, we got a response from the government of India. For the next 24 hours, most unfortunately, Rishi, those who pretend to be my competition were in denial. So they said, this is a terrible story. A conspiracy against good people. There is a motive that this channel has. It wants to run down people. You must never do this in journalism. You see, people, Rishi, who live in denial in Lutyens, Delhi, could not understand the depth and force of what we had done. That was till Monday. By Tuesday, they realized the story has acquired a tremendous potential. And there was one Wednesday when we pulled out a signature of Vasundhara, where she said, I have never signed any document, you have only 3 pages. We pulled out the signature of Vasundhara, and the story all came crumbling down. So in 72 hours, we saw the edifice of denial break down. Now I'm coming to a social media part. So we realized that all these people are played catch up. So we owned the story using the phrase Lalit Gate. It's not Lalit scandal. It's not Lalit X, Lalit Y. The story is Lalit Gate. Now you ask anyone across, I was in Bangalore on Saturday, and because I missed a flight, I went through Hyderabad last week. Wherever I'm going, Rishi, in the airports, when I enter the flight, when I come out, when I'm taking a cab, when I'm meeting people, when I'm walking on the street, people are only talking about one thing these days, Rishi, and that's Lalit Gate. And they are talking about the phrase Lalit Gate, which becomes a hashtag. I think that's phenomenal. I cannot think of a situation where one channel's expose of a story becomes a nation's talking point in this manner. Now, Rishi, to cut the long story short, I have faced these kind of responses from people in the media in the past. When I broke the Commonwealth Games scam in June 2010, there were a lot of journalists who went and gave advice to Suresh Kalmadi, and Suresh Kalmadi told me that if you stop doing the story, we'll do an interview.
More things, they abuse, they do everything. What has really changed is if you see a match, and when a match is going on, and you can know how the fans are feeling, with the way they're hooting, with the way they are saying a name, or they are getting angry. But that's it. You cannot judge how many people liked it or how many didn't, what they didn't like, what they liked. But now what happens in Twitter, especially in Bangalore FC, because in our club, we do this. So we have this interaction with the fans, and we know exactly what they want. For instance, which players to sign, which players they don't like, or this can be improved. And that's important. When I signed Twitter, I was told and asked to sign, just get in Twitter, because it helps. The PR team and all. But now enjoy it. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Commissioner, we're talking about the Church Street attack. We stay in Bangalore, and we love Bangalore. So we were, I think, at Pune. We were playing an away game. So we saw Twitter, because everyone is on Twitter every 3 minutes to just check news and all. That's where we knew this had happened. And the news spread among all the players. And then we sat on the tellies to watch more. So that is the one where you know exactly what's happening. And so many people come in. People can participate now. It's one thing to watch a match or watch news, but you can't participate. Now, if Arnab is saying here that he has 21 million followers, but now he knows what they feel. Now, when he reads Twitter, he knows what they feel, what they want. Same way as players, when we go back home, we had a match. With all the abuses that we get, we know we had a bad game. And when they say good things, and you had a good game, and then a lot of people they give you inputs. Like, this is what we think should happen, and they feel good that they're participating. So at the end, when Bangalore FC does well, or the national team does well, somewhere down the line, we all know we all are participating in doing something good, and that is something really incredible.
Yeah, the flip side to it is that there's also a lot of abuse that comes your way, especially after India lost to Guam last week, and the kind of jokes that were made on Twitter, the kind of sarcasm on Twitter, because it's only going to amplify further.
Thank you so much for bringing it out. I thought we owed it. Yeah. What happens is after the game, generally, that's personally, after the game, we advise not to read about the news, good or bad. Because if you have done well and they write good, you might get complacent. And if you have done bad, you might get demoralized. So before, when there was no Twitter or social media, it was less. Because you read the paper next day, and then you watch television, and it's not as big as what it is today. So we finished the match, Guam match. We're traveling on our bus back to the hotel, and I don't know if you know Robinson, he opened his Twitter, and he was crying and laughing at the same time. And I told him, never do that, because I have experienced it. Trust me, 50% is the one who like you, 50% will abuse you, and that's fine. Because I'm a fan. When I'm a fan, I know the emotions. They want us to win, and if you don't, yeah, it'll come. Some of them are nasty, by the way, but it comes. I told him, don't do it. I checked my phone, there was so many notifications, I got scared. I put my mobile off, and I slept. Because at that moment, you have lost a game. And believe me or not, the worst person is the players. We are hit the most. We are angry the most. We are sad the most. So at that time, I open Twitter and I read. Because we are humans, I might react. And that's the last thing. Kunal is here, our media guy. So whatever I tweet, which is not personal, I have to run through him. Because of various things that I shouldn't write or whatever. So I make a tweet, and it's a reality. When I make a tweet which is not personal, I have to run through him. Things from spelling mistakes, commas, everything is important. The moment you write something and there's no comma or full stop, there'll be 20 tweets. You don't even know English or word. You can't even, you know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have faced it.
The grammar Nazis.
So I was like, do I tweet or do I go to an English school? The sentence doesn't make sense or stuff like that. But that's fine, I understand. These things I can deal better if I've just not lost a game. So we give ourselves a day, and the next day, you're more calmer and you understand from where it's coming, because we are also fans. If I'm watching Sonia play or if I'm watching Leander play, the same emotion comes. Come on, man, why not taking a point? I'm sure the same thing comes to all the other fans, but just the day that we finish the game, we restrain. Especially when you lose a game against Guam, as you said.
Right.
There were so many notifications, people were so angry. And I said, Kunal, we got to send an apology. And he said, don't even bother. There is no apologies, man. They're going to come hard at your game. So the only way to reply to them is probably go and win the next game. But yeah, and coming out to Twitter, it's huge. No matter what you do, good, bad, whatever, it's huge. And people, not because they know they can participate, they do.
It's the same question for you, Mr. Commissioner. You have a team, you have a dedicated social media team.
Moderate this session. I have no idea how I'm supposed to keep things moderate with this crew on stage. But Pratiksha, thank you so much for the intro. None of these